Good morning. The graduates we celebrate today stand on the shoulders of Des Moines University alumni who built a strong foundation of academic integrity and professional commitment that has benefited patients, health centers, and our academic community throughout their years of service. Please stand as we welcome back to their alma mater those alumni celebrating 50 and 25-year anniversary classes. The alumni are led by Dr. Sarah Sutton, a member of the class of 1953 who serves as today's Grand Marshal. Yesterday, Dr. Sutton received the Pioneer in Osteopathic Medicine Award in recognition of her efforts to apply, teach, and promote osteopathic manual diagnosis and treatment. Dr. Sutton continues to welcome students into her home for training sessions. Represented in the processional are alumni from several classes in the 1950s, the 50-year reunion class from 1963, and the 25-year reunion class from 1988. Des Moines University is also very proud of the Alumni Association, which seeks to promote the welfare of the university, to increase the connection that exists between the university and our alumni, and to prepare the institution for service to the state and nation in the decades to come. Welcome to the Alumni Association board members who joined the procession today. And now, Des Moines University is proud to present the class of 2013.
be seated. As Grand Marshal for this commencement ceremony, I am pleased to extend greetings to all gathered here today. It is indeed an honor to make it known that Des Moines University will award degrees to our graduates in the College of Osteopathic Medicine, the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery, and the College of Health Sciences. This ceremony, the 113th in the history of Des Moines University, continues a rich academic tradition that began in 1899, when the first of 8 received degrees. Today, the university will proudly award 503 degrees, representing its 3 colleges and 9 academic programs. I am pleased to welcome our president, Dr. Angela Walker Franklin, who serves as the presiding official at this commencement ceremony.
Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Sutton, and welcome to everyone gathered here today. To pay tribute to this great nation for the many freedoms we enjoy, will the audience please rise for the national anthem? We are pleased that Sarah Ling, a third-year student in the College of Osteopathic Medicine, will lead us in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sarah. A Chinese philosopher said, if there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nation. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. I'd like now for us to have a moment of silent reflection and gratitude for all of our many blessings. Thank you. Members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, graduates, alumni, family members, and friends, welcome to the 113th commencement ceremony for Des Moines University. This is an exciting day for all of us. It is a day when our students fulfilled the promise that they began with their acceptance to Des Moines University and culminates today with the awarding of a professional degree. Graduates, I invite you to look at this vast audience gathered here to celebrate your accomplishments. Enjoy your day. This is also a day of celebration for all associated with Des Moines University. Throughout its history, this institution has conferred more than 15,500 degrees, providing graduates with the knowledge and training to improve the health and wellness of individuals as well as entire communities. With healthcare reform calling for an increase in the number of primary care providers and other skilled professionals, it is a time of unprecedented opportunity for this university and the graduates we honor on this day. While one can barely imagine the changes that will become part of the healthcare landscape in the next 10 to 25 years, you are superbly prepared with outstanding training, a heritage based in humanistic care, and a commitment to listen, engage, and collaborate in the many settings that provide or impact healthcare today. During your time at Des Moines University, you have indeed changed our world. You have inspired us with your service to the underserved, as demonstrated in the Homeless Camp Outreach Project, the Global Health Mission trips, and numerous visits to the underserved in our community. You have challenged us with your commitment to make this university the best it can be, as demonstrated by your interprofessional relationships, research projects, student government and club leadership, and your commitment to the value of inclusiveness through a demonstrated effort to ensure equal treatment for classmates, patients, and all in our society. Your ability to change the world is a result of the effort of a special group gathered before us in the audience. Graduations could never occur were it not for the dedicated efforts of our faculty, scholars, researchers, advisors, and mentors who have contributed immensely to your education and to the enhancement of the healthcare professions you represent. We are pleased to welcome back to our alma mater our distinguished alumni, whose work and accomplishments have provided a strong heritage and foundation for those of you who graduate today. Special guests this year are alumni in the classes of 1988, 1963, and earlier, who very joyfully led the processional for our ceremony today, wearing silver and gold ceremonial stoles. Last evening, the 25, 50, and 50-plus anniversary alumni were honored with a medallion presentation to symbolize their ongoing connection to their alma mater. Our Grand Marshal, Dr. Sarah Sutton, who is celebrating the 60th anniversary of her graduation from this institution, was also honored at a special ceremony yesterday as a pioneer in osteopathic medicine. In 1998, Des Moines University established the Pioneer in Osteopathic Medicine Award to honor distinguished alumni who have achieved national prominence through profound contributions to the art and science of medicine, to the advancement of scientific knowledge, and to service for the benefit of humankind. The award had been previously presented to only 5 individuals. Today, Des Moines University is proud to recognize Dr. Sutton for her lifetime of service to Des Moines University, to the osteopathic profession, and to the field of osteopathic manual medicine. To all alumni, we thank you for proudly continuing the tradition of compassionate healthcare delivery that is the hallmark of our institution. We also want to recognize those alumni who serve in America in the military by providing medical care for all who protect America's freedoms at home and on foreign shores. And we extend thanks to all veterans and active duty servicemen and women attending our ceremony today. On the dais are members of the Board of Trustees who have wisely governed the course of Des Moines University and ensured that our historic mission has been preserved and strengthened to the position of preeminence that we enjoy today. Members of the Board of Trustees and emeritus board members, will you please stand and be recognized? It is now my pleasure to invite the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Larry Baker, class of 1977, to deliver greetings to our graduates and guests.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. As guardians of the university's mission and academic excellence, the members of the Board of Trustees are delighted to extend greetings to all gathered here today. We are extremely proud to recognize these talented graduates and to extend our congratulations to them as well as to our faculty. We applaud each and every one of you and wish you a successful future dedicated to the care of patients and populations. We are also pleased to recognize and congratulate the alumni who are here today to celebrate the anniversary of their graduation and to reflect on careers dedicated to serving the needs of the patients and their communities. Our very best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. On behalf of the Falcon and all others in the community we proudly call Des Moines University, I extend thanks to the families and friends who have joined us to celebrate the individual and collective achievements of the graduates, and to the class of 2013. As you celebrate the completion of a major milestone in your educational journey, Des Moines University is so proud to recognize you as accomplished professionals. May you enjoy for many years the rewards that come to those who serve others. I am now pleased and honored to introduce our commencement speaker. When the term glass ceiling first appeared in print in the mid-1980s to describe barriers to advancement for women, Eleanor Connie Mariano was already transcending stereotypical perceptions. In succeeding years, she went on to accumulate an impressive resume of firsts in her illustrious career. Not only was she the first Filipino-American to become a Rear Admiral in the United States Navy, she also was the first female director of the White House Medical Unit, as well as the first military woman to be appointed as the White House physician. Born in the Philippines, Dr. Mariano moved to the United States with her family at the age of 2. Her father served in the U.S. Navy as a steward, one of the few military jobs available to Filipinos at that time. 45 years later, when President Bill Clinton promoted Dr. Mariano to Rear Admiral, she proudly quipped that she came to the White House by way of the kitchen. She quoted, and I quote, "I am pleased to stand before you today as proof that Filipino Americans in the Navy no longer must go through the kitchen, the back door, or the garage," she stated in defining her family's attachment to the American dream. To begin the foundation for her career, Dr. Mariano graduated cum laude from the University of California, San Diego, earning an undergraduate degree in biology. She joined the Navy in 1977, earned a medical degree from the Uniformed Services University of Medicine in 1981. Following an internship in internal medicine at San Diego Naval Hospital in 1982, Dr. Mariano was assigned to the USS Prairie, where she served in the Indian Ocean and Western Pacific as the sole physician for a ship's company of 750 men and women. With high energy and great commitment, she also developed a mass casualty training program, which earned her ship the title of Benchmark Ship in Mass Casualty Control. 1 year away from being eligible for release from active duty, she was nominated by her commanding officer to serve as Navy physician to the White House Medical Unit. She joined the unit in June of 1992 and became the first military woman to serve as White House physician under President George H.W. Bush. Following the election of President Clinton, she was personally selected by him to be White House physician and director of the White House Medical Unit. As a result, she received a promotion to captain in 1994. In 2000, she was formally promoted to the rank of Rear Admiral, following her nomination by President Clinton. By attending to 2 American presidents for more than 8 years, Dr. Mariano is the longest-serving White House physician in American history. She is also the first woman commander of the White House Medical Unit. In 2001, Dr. Mariano retired from the Navy and left the White House to join the Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale, Arizona. She went on to found the Center for Executive Medicine in Scottsdale in 2005, where her philosophy quite appropriately is, treat every patient as though they were the President of the United States. She is author of the book, The White House Doctor, My Patients Were Presidents, a memoir, in which she discusses the unique requirements, pressures, and responsibilities of providing care for the most powerful person in the world. Dr. Mariano is also the host of Dr. Connie's House Calls, an hour-long weekly live internet radio show on the Empowerment Channel dedicated to enlightening, enriching, and inspiring listeners to their professional and personal lives. Rising from poverty to the highest echelons of medical service, Dr. Mariano never forgets her roots and the power of the American dream. On the occasion of the ceremony promoting her to Rear Admiral, Dr. Mariano addressed her relatives who had served as stewards in the Navy, and she said, "Thank you for reminding me daily that I owe my presence here to people like you and my father who paved the way. Thank you for never letting me forget about the qualities of kindness, silent service, loyalty, and humility." Dr. Mariano, it is my honor to invite you to the podium to deliver the commencement address for the class of 2013.
Thank you very much. Good morning, graduates, parents, family, alumni, friends, and faculty. Thank you, President Franklin, for your kind introduction. I am so touched and honored to be your speaker today. To the class of 2013, what a great day it is for you today. You're always going to remember this day, and please relish it and enjoy it. You're going to receive your degrees that will make you part of that honorable and noble profession of heroes who take care of other people. Your lives would be dedicated to taking care of others, but today, it's going to be all about you. Your class represents professionals from all the health and healing sciences here. And as I look at the large crowd of graduates who are going to receive their degrees, I think of anybody in the audience who experiences any discomfort or lightheadedness or foot pain or any type of ailment. This is really a good place to say, is there a doctor in the house? At which point, most of the people here would respond and say, my goodness, we need a podiatrist here. You've worked very hard to see this day happen, but you wouldn't be here without the help of a lot of other people who are here, probably with you today. So remember to thank them who helped you get here today, your teachers, your professors, your mentors who taught you and were very kind to pass you in their classes, your parents, your family who pushed you, and your friends and loved ones who commiserated with you and encouraged you. And to the mom and dads in the audience, congratulations to you. You have the right to be proud of your son and daughter today as they receive their degrees, go on to get a job, make a living, and hopefully make that important first step towards liberating them from the bank of mom and dad. Although I've been told by my 4 children, the bank of mom and dad never closes completely. When I received President Franklin's invitation to be your guest speaker, I got very excited and very nervous. In preparing for today's remarks, I reverted to my old college and medical school habits. And what it meant was this. I waited to the last moment to get my final remarks together. I spent hours in coffee shops discussing my talking points with other people. And as the big day approached, I got frantic in various activities, and then I pulled that infamous all-nighter. Now, none of you graduates would know what that means. Of course not. Of course. This never happens. But I also sought the advice of the experts. I talked to my kids. And the best advice when it came to giving a commencement speech came from my youngest son, now age 24, who graduated 2 years ago from college when it came to speaking in front of an audience for commencement. And he said, "Mom, don't worry about what you say. It really doesn't matter. No one ever remembers the commencement speaker, unless, of course, you are really, really bad." But those weren't his exact words, you know. So today my goals are simple. First, I'm here to honor you, the graduates, on your achievement. Second, to share some words of wisdom I'd like to pass on. And third, to be short, sweet, and simple. This summer, at graduations all across America, commencement speakers will be giving some pretty unhappy news to their graduates. They'll be sharing grim news about the state of the economy, the high unemployment rate, and how graduates are in for a struggle in the marketplace. It can be a pretty ugly, brutal world out there. Fortunately for you who are going into healthcare professions, the outlook is always positive. You're always going to find work. As long as people are born, get sick, aim to live long lives, and ultimately die, you will always have a place to work. Now, finding that job where you want to work in a hospital, a clinic, a research facility, you're going to have to go through some type of interview process. How do you proceed? How do you succeed? So let me share you a brief story today that will offer some guidance about some of the lessons I think are important. My story begins in 1991. A lot of the graduates were in their childhood years. So that was a long, long time ago. And this story takes place in San Diego, California. 1991, I was in the Navy. I was a Navy commander. I was a division head for internal medicine. I was married to an attorney at that time, and we had 2 little kids. We had a house 3 houses down from my parents, and you would think life is good, right? I'm in my hometown. We love it there. And I was at a point in my career, I was trying to decide what I really wanted to do. I had been in the hospital for 10 years. I had worked late hours during the day on the ward, seeing patients, go home at night, take care of the kids, over and over again. Continues. And I was at that point, what do I do next? And it so happened that my 10-year commitment to the military was up, and I can decide whether to get out or stay in. So my husband said, his law firm was going on a retreat that weekend, and if I would come along and have some time to reflect as to what to do in my career. So I said, sure, let's go. So I remember we went to Palm Springs, and I was exhausted at the time. I got my first massage then. It was very important to relax. And I remember going down to the cocktail party where the law partners were assembled with their spouses, wives. And I went into the ballroom of the Ritz-Carlton, and I looked around me at the law partners and their spouses. And the wives were rest and tanned, and they were elegant, and they weren't burnt out and exhausted like I was. And I realized I knew what I wanted to do right away. I turned to my husband and said, this is it. I'll get out of the Navy, you make law partner, and I'll become a trophy wife. Can we do this? He says, we'll do this. So I went back to work Monday. We went down to the Office of Personnel to ask for the papers for release from active duty. Because in the military, you can't just walk out. You have to ask permission, submit in triplicate, and then get permission 9 months later to leave. So as I was filling out the paperwork, it dawns upon me I am really divorcing the military, which I've been a part of almost all my life. As I'm filling out the paperwork, by divine intervention, my phone rings, and it is the chairman of medicine, my boss. Now, he does not know I'm trying to leave. And he tells me, Connie, I just received the message traffic from Washington, D.C., and I'm to nominate 5 candidates for the job of White House doctor. I said, oh, wonderful. And he says, I want to nominate you to be one of the 5 candidates. I said, I've never heard of this job. He says, well, it's simple. He says, you go to Washington for 2 years, you take care of the President of the United States, you travel around on Air Force One, you do primary care for them, you take care of the President of the First Family, the Vice President, his family, etc. And after the 2 years, you're still in the Navy, we continue on, we send you someplace else. And I said, well, let me talk to my husband. So I hang up, I call my husband, and I announce, this change in plans. And the first words out of his mouth are you crazy? You grew up in Washington, D.C., you went to school there, you hate Washington. It's hot in the summer, it's humid there, it's cold in the winter, and they don't have good Mexican food. And so I know you're getting out. I said, you're right, I'll tell him no. So I hang up, I'm getting ready to call my boss, and my pager goes off, and it's my husband trying to reach me. And he says, you know what, on second thought, you have nothing to lose. You will never get this job anyway. Which, don't worry, I have points about that. I divorced him 13 years later. That's another story. You'll never get this job anyway. It's a good resume item that you were interviewed in case you worked for Kaiser. I said, you're right. All right, so I called my boss and put my name in. Fast forward 9 months, I'm in Washington, D.C. at the White House. It's Christmas time. The White House is decorated in all its finery. I'm walking around with 4 other guys who are interviewing with me for the one position. The 4 other guys look like Tom Cruise out of Top Gun, okay? They've been to the Naval Academy, they're flight surgeons, they're macho, they're good looking, and they have connections in Washington, which I don't have, including one of them is going to be the best man at the wedding of the doctor we're replacing. So I said, I have no chance, okay? I must be the token woman, Asian, whatever, short person that they put for this job. I understand my role. So we get interviewed by security. You have to have a security clearance, so we get interviewed by the members of the White House Medical Unit, and the final interview for each of us that day is with Dr. J. Burton Lee III. And so before the days of Google, I did a literature search on Dr. J. Burton Lee III, who is a physician to the President, Director of the White House Medical Unit, and the personal physician to George Herbert Walker Bush. And I realized Dr. Lee and I have nothing in common, okay? The only Filipinos he's ever met are the stewards in the White House mess who served him. So I said, I'm not gonna get this job, there's no way. So Dr. Roberts, the incumbent physician, brings me into the White House ground floor, has me sit down and says, I'm gonna go introduce you to Dr. Lee, you wait here. He goes to the doorway, and I hear him say, Dr. Lee, I have our next candidate here. I hear a male voice on the other end say, do you have her resume? And Dr. Roberts goes, I forgot it in the other building. At which point, I hear books being thrown across the room and a sort of a gruff voice say, never mind, I'll make the decision without it. And so Dr. Roberts pulls away from the door, he points to me and says, you're on. And I said, oh my goodness, thanks for upsetting the person I have to interview with. So I stand up, and they tell you when you go interview and your hands are sweating, diaphoretic, you rub them gently against your pants to remove the sweat, take a deep breath, and in this case, I do what I do often, is I said a silent prayer, because I believe prayer is very important. And this is what I prayed. I said, dear God, if this is meant to be, show me a sign. I walk in, I go into the room, and there's Dr. Lee. He's very distinguished, 60-year-old gentleman, he's got a business suit, and I'm looking at him, and I instantly see the sign, and it makes me smile. And what the sign was a single Band-Aid right across his forehead. And I look at him, and at that time, I was a mother of 2 little boys, and in my mommy eyes, all I can think of is, my goodness, he has a boo-boo on his forehead. So it calmed me down, and made me realize he can hurt, he can bleed, he's human, no fear. So he shakes my hand, nice firm handshake, make eye contact, and he says, sit down. And I thought, my goodness, they are really rough here at the White House. So I wait for him to sit down first, because he's senior, and I sit down, and the interview begins. Why do you want to come here? Which is a good question, right? You're all going to be asked, why do you want this job, right? Why do you want this position? And I had prepared various politically correct responses, but what came out of my mouth was this response. Dr. Lee, it's payback time. He looks at me like, what? I said, it's payback time. I owe a lot to the United States of America. My father was a poor man in the 1940s when he joined the United States Navy. They brought my father and my family here. I was educated in the United States. I got my medical degree at the military medical school. The United States has given me my life and my career. I owe so much to this country, and if I can repay my debt by serving the Commander-in-Chief, that's what I want to do. I look at Dr. Lee, there is no expression on his face, as you know, medical term, flat affect. I go, and then a few minutes later, he asks me, what can you do here at the White House? And at that time, I was a commander. I had 3 gold stripes on my sleeve. I said, Dr. Lee, you see the stripes on my sleeve? The longer I'm in the Navy, the more stripes they put on my sleeve, the more they put me behind a desk. I'm not a desk doctor, I'm a trench doctor. You put me anywhere in the world, in the field, I know how to take care of patients. Once again, I look at Dr. Lee, there's no expression on this man's face. Flat affect, poker face. What seemed like forever, he stood up abruptly, and I followed suit, and he said, as far as I'm concerned, we can stop the process right now. And my heart sinks. I said, oh my gosh, he's throwing me out. He says, I don't care who we're interviewing today or tomorrow. You've got the job. I'm going to tell Barbara Bush. He shook my hand. He walked out the door, across the stairs, up the stairs, the elevator, and to the second floor to tell Mrs. Bush, the First Lady. I was waiting down after the recovery room, waiting for him, and the doctor who brought me in looked at me and said, what happened? And I said, I think I got the job. So from my story, I'm going to leave you these words of wisdom. Number one of the most important decisions you'll make, in addition to your career choice and specialty, is your life partner. Pick a spouse, a life partner who believes in you, elevates you, who is your biggest fan. That is so important. Number two, of all your achievements in life, you will be judged many times by your character and your personal behavior. If you wonder if that's true, look at the press, look at the media, look at your leaders. If you make one misstep in your personal life or misconduct, it can negate all the good things you've achieved in your career. So make sure you're proud of your personal conduct. Number three, be open to opportunity. You may not get the program, the residency, the job that you were hoping to get. You may get something better than you ever imagined, so be open to that. Number four, never underestimate the power of prayer and faith. Number five, honor your own voice. Be the best practitioner you can be the best healer you can be that's personal to you. Number six, abolish fear from your vocabulary. Do not allow it to rule your life. And number seven, finally, be grateful. And it is with gratitude that I end my speech today. I thank you for allowing me the honor to celebrate you on your achievement. Congratulations to all of you. I wish you great success in your career and your lives ahead. God bless you all.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mariano. Dr. Baker, will you please join me? Whereas some speak of the roads not taken, Dr. Mariano has defined her life by the roads taken as testament to the belief that anything is possible for those who aspire to learn, serve, and heal. Therefore, be it known that on every road traveled, Dr. Mariano has shown wisdom, resolve, integrity, and commitment. Whereas Dr. Mariano modeled the qualities of kindness, silent service, loyalty, and humility, she also had the distinction of becoming the first military woman to be appointed White House physician and the first Filipino American to earn the rank of Rear Admiral in the United States Navy. Therefore, be it known that personal hopes may be realized, that dreams are within reach, and that change is always possible. Whereas Dr. Mariano embodies the core principles central to the fulfillment of our academic mission: accountability, honesty, collaboration, and inclusiveness. Therefore, be it known that in philosophy and commitment, her life's work and legacy are compatible with the mission, vision, and values of Des Moines University. Therefore, in recognition of Dr. Connie Mariano's widely acclaimed contributions to public service, military medicine, leadership, health access, and equality, Des Moines University is proud to honor this truly distinguished physician and humanitarian. I am privileged to now confer this degree. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Des Moines University and by the state of Iowa, I do hereby confer upon Eleanor Concepcion Mariano the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa, of which this citation will be a witness forever. Congratulations, Dr. Mariano.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Karen McLean, Provost at Des Moines University, and it is my honor to begin the official rite of graduation. The deans will now present their graduating classes in preparation for the awarding of the degrees. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Jody Cahalan, Dean of the College of Health Sciences.
Will the graduates from the College of Health Sciences, the Healthcare Administration Program, the Public Health Program, the Physician Assistant Program, the Post-Professional Doctor in Physical Therapy Program, and the Doctor in Physical Therapy Program, please stand. President Franklin, members of the Board of Trustees, and honored guests, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you the graduating class for the year 2013 of the College of Health Sciences. The members of the faculty of the College of Health Sciences have evaluated the candidates and endorse all of these students as worthy of having the degree Master of Healthcare Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies, or Doctor of Physical Therapy conferred on them. It is with great pride that I present the class of 2013 of the College of Health Sciences. Please be seated.
Good morning. I'm Tim Yoho. I'm the Dean of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. If I could ask the graduates from the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery to please stand. President Franklin, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, family, and friends of the graduates. On behalf of the faculty, I present the 2013 graduating class of the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. The faculty of the college have evaluated the candidates and endorsed each of these individuals as worthy of having the degree Doctor of Podiatric Medicine conferred upon them. President Franklin, it is my pleasure to present the newest members of the podiatric medical profession and the Des Moines University Alumni Association. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Good morning. I'm Dave Plendo. I'm the acting dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. Will the graduates from the College of Osteopathic Medicine please stand? President Franklin, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests. On behalf of the faculty, I present to you the 2013 graduating class from the College of Osteopathic Medicine. The members of the faculty of the College of Osteopathic Medicine have evaluated these candidates and endorse all of these students as worthy of having the degree Master of Science in Anatomy, Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, or Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine conferred upon them. President Franklin, it is with great pride that I present to you the class of 2013 of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. You may be seated.
Once again, it is my pleasure to call our president, Dr. Angela Franklin, to the podium for the conferring of degrees. Will all of the graduates please rise?
I am pleased to receive these candidates. By virtue of the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of this university and by the state of Iowa, I do hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have been endorsed, with all of the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to this degree, of which your diploma will be a witness forever. You are hereby recognized as graduates and alumni of Des Moines University. Congratulations. Please be seated.
We will now recognize the degree recipients individually with the procession of the graduates. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Pamela Duffy, Assistant Professor in the Master of Public Health program, who will announce the names of the graduates for the College of Health Sciences.
We will begin the recognition for the graduates in the Healthcare Administration program who have earned a Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Carrie Lynn Babby. Georgina K. Barnes, graduate with distinction. Bradley Dallas Bender. Amy Jo Holmes. Lindsay Drew Jones. Cannon S. Kappelman. Holly Noel Kaufenbach. Brenda L. McGraw. Annalise Margaret Pepin. Minaki Pradhan. Shannon Rennell Walker. Des Moines University now recognizes those graduates who have earned the Master of Public Health degree. Stacy Long. Rebecca Ryan Minardi. Lindley Sharp. And our last graduate is receiving both the Master of Healthcare Administration degree and Master of Public Health degree, Ryan Thomas Dow. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the platform the graduates of the Physician Assistant Program who are receiving the Master of Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies. Layla Aslani. Renee Virginia Altherley. Ashley Marie Boos. Kristen R. Chung. Molly Kathleen Catronio. Erin Lee DeBerry. Brett Ronald Dilley. Starlet Jackson Yadoso. Katrina Rebecca Enderly. Lindsay Joy Angbers. Kate Ann Fuller. Tara Christine Garber. Erica Jo Gentry. Kimberly B. Gordon. Candida Ann Halley. Mark Robert Haven. Joshua J. Hohertz. Zachary Adam Rutherford Hollingsworth. Larissa Hoover. Casey John Howe. Kendra Hoyt. Elizabeth Ann Jakeway. Erin Lee Johnston. Katie Rubel Kim. Jillian A. Klosak. Benjamin J. Kolner. Amy Claire Lala. Shannon Nicole Layton. Samantha K. Levering. Maggie Catherine May. Carrie A. McClintock. Andrew Michael McNeely. Carissa G. Miller. Lindsay Ray Mills. Nicole M. Ness. Bradley W. Nielsen. Amanda M. Olinger. Elizabeth M. Olson. Neil Allen Paulson. Mackenzie Allison Reed. Madison Marjorie Rengsdorf. Christopher Andrew Romanovitz. Megan Ann Rose. Carrie L. Sigmiller. Rachel Danielle Sinnen. Margot Marie Soppy. Brooke Ellen Stewart. Jacqueline A. Stortenbecker. Danielle A. Swanson. Katie Lynn Tackey. Lindsay Renee Weber. Samantha B. Wetzel. The physician assistant oath will be administered by Jolene Kelly, Director of the Physician Assistant Program for the College of Health Sciences and alumna of the class of 1996. Will the graduates please stand?
I would invite any PAs in the audience to join us in saying the oath. Please say it along with me. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of autonomy, beneficence, non-malfeasance, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincere and upon my honor. Thank you. Please be seated.
Please be seated. Des Moines University offers the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree through an on-campus Doctor of Physical Therapy program and through an online post-professional program. We will first recognize the graduates of the Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Putting the graduates are Dr. Cindy Utley, Assistant Professor of Clinical Education, and Dr. Vasilios Vardaxis, Professor in the Physical Therapy Department. Dr. Deidre Blinn Anderson. Dr. Andrea Rebecca Astrup. Dr. Megan Jacqueline Barclay. Dr. Stephen T. Bell. Dr. Brindy L. Bowman, graduate with distinction. Dr. Roger L. Bertraw. Dr. Angela Lucille Conlon. Dr. Natalie Riel Deming. Dr. Brittany Lynn Dennis. Dr. Ryan Joseph Domeyer. Dr. Jonathan L. Duke. Dr. Kate Jean Felitz. Dr. Sheena Marie Phillip. Dr. Alicia Jean Fisher. Dr. Rachel K. Garrett. Dr. Eric Daniel Goebbels. Dr. Molly Helene Haberrichter. Dr. Eric M. Holton. Dr. Lauren Marie Judas. Dr. Kristen Hallie McDonald Kaler. Dr. Hannah Marie Keller. Dr. Leah Elizabeth Kepp. Dr. Erin Jo Kramer. Dr. Kellen Douglas Crowey. Dr. Jennifer Jane Lewis. Dr. Matt D. McDermott. Dr. Abigail Jill Michaels. Dr. Chelsea Lynn Mitchner. Dr. Nicole Mockelstead. Dr. Amanda Jean Morgan. Dr. Kelly J. Odie. Dr. Chelsea Lynn Painter. Dr. Curtis D. Remick. Dr. Skylar L. Remick. Dr. Sarah Evian Rowe. Dr. Katie Elizabeth Sandvig. Dr. Marie Alyssa Schilling. Dr. Sarah E. Schroeder. Dr. Amy Lynn Schulte. Dr. Matthew Scott Sidesinger. Dr. Brett Spears. Dr. Bridget Lorraine Tim. Dr. Adam T. Vandermolen. Dr. Joseph Daniel Verscore. Dr. Megan S. Walding. Dr. Nicholas R. Warnicki. Dr. Jubal L. Young. We will now recognize the graduates who were awarded the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree through the Post-Professional Doctor of Physical Therapy program. Hooding the graduates are Dr. Carrie Smith, Assistant Professor, and Dr. Catherine Stevermer, Assistant Professor, Physical Therapy Department. Dr. Asha Abraham. Dr. Sandra Linnell Blocky. Dr. Magdalena Boigio. Dr. Leonora Chow. Dr. Margaret Ann Holtai. Dr. Miri Ingwer. Dr. Janine Michelle Lillian Levin. Dr. Parul Luthra. Dr. Edwin M. Mayo. Dr. Ahmad A. Mohammed. Dr. Carolyn Ann Moody. Dr. Christine Piper Johnson. Dr. Raghuswamy Prakash. Dr. Saira Manavar Ratanzi. Dr. Suhas S. Sakakar. Dr. Jeffrey Allen Schroeder. Dr. Sneha L. Thomas. Dr. Evangeline Velasquez Soltes. Dr. Pritchard Hugh. The physical therapy oath will be administered by Dr. Tracy Bush, Director of the Doctor of Physical Therapy program for the College of Health Sciences and a member of the class of 1995. Will the graduates please stand?
Good morning. What a wonderful day. At this point in time, I would also like to invite all physical therapists present in the audience and on stage to also rise and join the graduates as we proudly recite the physical therapy oath in unison. As I practice the art of physical therapy, I will respect the rights and dignity of all individuals and will provide compassionate care. I will place the welfare of my patients and my clients above my own self-interest. I will exercise sound judgment and will comply with laws and regulations that govern physical therapy and protect the public from unethical, incompetent, and illegal acts. I will maintain professional competence and will promote high standards for physical therapy practice, education, and research. I will address the health needs of society and will strive to effect changes that benefit patients, clients, and the community. With this pledge, I freely accept the responsibilities that accompany the practice of physical therapy. Congratulations, we're very proud of you. Please be seated.
I am pleased to introduce Dr. John Bennett, Associate Professor of Podiatric Medicine, who will announce the names of the graduates in the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. Hooding the graduates today are Dr. James Mahoney, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and Dr. Catherine Frush, Assistant Professor.
We will now begin the onstage procession for the graduates from the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery. Dr. Terry Lynn Baker. Dr. Justin James Banks, also receiving Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Brandon W. Barrett. Dr. Annette Francella Poduska Bartel. Dr. Benjamin Heber Bauer. Dr. Clifford M. Bliss. Dr. Nicole Renee Byerly. Dr. Scott C. Carrington. Dr. Anthony Robert Douillon. Dr. Casey Clarice Ebert. Dr. Michael L. Egertson. Dr. Anthony G. Elliott. Dr. John Griffith Erickson. Dr. Andrew Mark Evans. Dr. Troy William Fowler. Dr. Eric R. Gahn, hooded by Dr. Max T. McKinney. Dr. Joseph M. Genualdi, Jr. Dr. Stephen M. Gillespie. Dr. Randall Allen Hanson, Jr. Dr. Blake Allen Hines. Dr. Hannah Pearl Jonk. Dr. Carl D. Johnson. Dr. Ryan Christopher Kish. Dr. Jeffrey D. Kramer, hooded by Dr. George Kramer. Dr. Austin A. Kramer. Dr. Chad E. Lawrence. Dr. Alexis M. Lund. Dr. Kevin J. Mahoney. Dr. Joshua J. Marshall. Dr. Matthew Quinn McCammon, graduate with distinction. Dr. Kyle R. Moore. Dr. Rebecca K. Mullen. Dr. Ashley E. Mychek. Dr. Laura M. Nelson. Dr. Dennis Stephen Pritzel. Dr. David D. Redidall. Dr. Elissa Jane Roskop. Dr. Benjamin A. Thomas. Dr. Jeffrey Scott Weber. Dr. Kathy Jo Palmershine Witt, also receiving Master of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Colin Matthew Zenick. Dr. Brendan T. Zelna. Dr. Heather D. Zelna. Dr. Michael R. Zimmerman.
The podiatric oath will be administered by Dr. Kevin Smith, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs in the College of Podiatric Medicine and Surgery and a member of the CPMS class of 1995. Will the graduates please stand?
At this time, I would like to invite any podiatric physicians in the audience to please stand and recite the podiatric oath in unison with me. Upon my honor, I declare that I will accept the moral and the legal responsibilities which become mine as a member of the podiatric medical profession. Those talents with which I may have been endowed will be devoted to aid those who may choose to entrust themselves in my judgment and care. I will abstain from all intentional harm and wrongdoing to my fellow citizens, especially from abusing the soul of the body of those who entrust themselves to my professional care. In all good faith, I will support my profession and do what I may to advance its best interests, even at the sacrifice of my personal advantages. In serving my patients, I will administer to their needs in a professional manner to the best of my ability. In all instances, I will do that which will reflect credit and honor on this, my chosen profession. Congratulations. Please be seated.
I would now like to invite Dr. Andrew Brittingham, Professor of Microbiology and Immunology for the College of Osteopathic Medicine, to announce the graduates in the College of Osteopathic Medicine.
The College of Osteopathic Medicine is pleased to recognize those graduates who are awarded master's degrees through the college. This year's graduates in the Masters of Science in Anatomy program and the Masters of Science in Biomedical Sciences program are also receiving the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine or Doctor of Podiatric Medicine degree and are recognized on stage for both when receiving the doctorate, or they were recognized at a ceremony in August. We will now begin honoring the graduates of the College of Osteopathic Medicine earning the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree. Hooding the graduates are Dr. Michael Flood, Associate Professor of Internal Medicine, Dr. Kendall Reed, Professor of Surgery, Dr. Craig Canby, Professor of Anatomy and Director of the Masters of Science in Anatomy program, and Dr. Wayne Wilson, Associate Professor of Biochemistry and Nutrition. Dr. Matthew Hardy Allred, hooded by Dr. Gerald Allred. Dr. Haley C. Anderson. Dr. Jacob Scott Anderson. Dr. Marcia Ange Obiang. Dr. Jason R. Arribas. Dr. James Kendall Barger. Dr. Autumn Ruth Bartle. Dr. Holly Rose Bean. Dr. Edna Sager Becht, hooded by Dr. Sarah Sager. Dr. Jessica Ann Behrens. Dr. Garrett A. Bentley. Dr. Jennifer Noel Berger. Dr. Lisa Marie Bishop. Dr. Michael A. Blackburn. Dr. Brock A. Blazard. Dr. Kayla Joy Blyton, hooded by Dr. Paul Blyton. Dr. Jessica Lee Botcher.
I should have asked you first. No, you're good.
Dr. Amy R. Borden. Dr. Katrina J. Bowers. Dr. Jeffrey Brent Daniels Brown. Dr. Andrew C. Bilt. Dr. Brittany Brianne Bunot. Dr. J. D. Burmeister. Dr. Hannah L. Carlson Yamada. Dr. Helen O. Carlson. Dr. Joseph M. Carrington, also receiving a Master's of Healthcare Administration degree. Dr. Jessica K. Siwi. Dr. Anita Kumar Chang, hooded by Dr. Ashok Kumar and Dr. Kaushaliya Kumar. Dr. Timothy Allen Clem. Dr. Benjamin G. Coombs. Dr. Joseph Michael Quick. Dr. Dante Caleb Samuel Dolly, hooded by Dr. Gerald Roller. Dr. Caleb Albert Daniel. Dr. John Anderson DeMott. Dr. Chase Nichols Diabald. Dr. Daniel Lee Dodge, hooded by Dr. Justin Dodge and Dr. Christina Lyons. Dr. Joel R. Eggers. Dr. Kayla N. Egley. Dr. Kristen Marie Eide. Dr. Kalina N. Elgar, hooded by Dr. Carissa Elgar. Dr. John B. Erickson, graduate with distinction. Dr. Garrett James Fedderson. Dr. Roberto Joaquin Fernandez. Dr. Tyler J. Fieldstead. Dr. Allison Claire Flamang. Dr. Logan C. Frederickson. Dr. Laura K. Frederickson. Dr. Jessica Erin Fury. Dr. Claire A. Garber. Dr. Marcy Ann Gargiulo. Dr. Nicole Marie Gasner. Dr. James Heyman Gentry. Dr. Mitchell Ryan Gazelle, hooded by Dr. Gregory Gazelle and Dr. Jeffrey Gazelle. Dr. Chad Joseph Giles. Dr. Jessica Lucille Gilliam. Dr. Nathan Christian Gilling. Dr. Andrew William Giselson. Dr. Kristen Loretta Giselman. Dr. Seth M. Goodman, hooded by Dr. Matthew Goodman. Dr. Megan Eve Grzolski. Dr. Emily J. Graff, hooded by Dr. Brian Joseph Graff. Dr. Christian David Grindberg, also receiving a Master's of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Mara M. Groom. Dr. George M. Gura III, hooded by Dr. George Gura, Jr. Dr. Mary J. Haas. Dr. Jarrett A. Hall. Dr. Adam L. Halverson. Dr. Bradley Joseph Halverson. Dr. Vincenzo C. Happick. Dr. Shannon R. Harkness. Dr. Aruna Apadawedula Hawkins. Dr. Marcus James Hemasath. Dr. Sarah Ann Hemming Meyer. Dr. Devin Kent Higgins. Dr. Natalie Eileen Hincliffe. Dr. Rachel Elizabeth Hinrichs, hooded by Dr. Mark Hinrichs. Dr. Andrew D. Hipp. Dr. Lisa M. Hiskey. Dr. Ashley Lynn Holland. Dr. Megan Marie Horner. Dr. Alexandra Kennedy Hubble. Dr. Samantha D. Hudrlick. Dr. Jeremy J. Hunt. Dr. Christina Marie Jamrose. Dr. James L. Yeltama. Dr. Andrew R. Johannes. Dr. Carissa Allen Marie Johnson. Dr. Gabriel David Kieran Johnson. Dr. Nathan Dale Johnson. Dr. Neil Gordon Johnson. Dr. Amanda R. Johnston. Dr. Clayton W. Jordan. Dr. Courtney Marie Joseph, hooded by Dr. Mark Joseph. Dr. Adam Martin Kapler, hooded by Dr. Elise Carolyn Tinker. Dr. Reagan A. Kenny. Dr. Shaima Zanab Khan. Dr. Kelly Marie Kilgore. Dr. Joseph R. Kimball. Dr. Daniel E. Knapp. Dr. Chelsea K. Kane. Dr. Robert Kohler. Dr. Erin Nicole Kramer. Dr. Benjamin Philip Craig. Dr. Sarah Ritan Kuhlman. Dr. Carl Dennis Cure, hooded by Dr. Gail Dawson and Dr. James Cure. Dr. Ji Hei Kwan. Dr. Jonathan T. Locke, also receiving a Master's of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Christopher Michael Lee, hooded by Dr. Gabriel Lee. Dr. Haley Joan Lehman. Dr. Morgan Brittany Loeb, hooded by Dr. Tom Loeb and Dr. Diane Woodall. Dr. Rachel C. Lucas. Dr. Scott William Lundgren. Dr. Pulavi Rao Mundagi, hooded by Dr. Mandinga Rao. Dr. Carolyn Ann Marchand. Dr. Cole Robert Marshkey. Dr. Nicholas Patrick Masiga. Dr. Krista Marie McInerney. Dr. Ashley L. McSorley. Dr. Barbara J. Merriman. Dr. Ryan J. Michael. Dr. Elizabeth Zachman Miller. Dr. Brian C. Moon. Dr. Krista B. Moon. Dr. Robert W. Murdoch, hooded by Dr. David Murdoch. Dr. Tori Murray. Dr. Salih N. Musley. Dr. Meghna Punuga Nagabhushan. Dr. Jason Shervin Nazar. Dr. Jackie Lynn Nails Foyt. Dr. Joel William Nelson. Dr. Nicole Kathy Nelson. Dr. Aaron Franklin Newton. Dr. Carrie Jacqueline Nielsen. Dr. Ryan Christopher Nielsen. Dr. Paul Lyndon Nurmi. Dr. Angela Rochelle Olerick. Dr. James L. Olson. Dr. Christina M. Olson, hooded by Dr. Douglas Stengel. Dr. Emily C. Olson. Dr. Anders Karsten Ostus. Dr. Yoshihiro Ozuki, hooded by Dr. Bernard Feldman. Dr. Laura Naomi Pakowitz. Dr. Nathan J. Pomolia. Dr. Rachel C. Parker. Dr. Arlene Denise Parsons. Dr. Christopher Francis Peluso, hooded by Dr. Frank Peluso. Dr. Pauline Elizabeth Powers Pepra. Dr. Megan Lee Peters, hooded by Dr. Ashley Peters. Dr. Ryan L. Pettit. Dr. Michael Pfeiffer. Dr. Christina M. Pischke. Dr. Dustin Ray Portella. Dr. Danielle Marie Preem. Dr. Samira Ramich. Dr. Melissa Megan Rich. Dr. Abby Christine Richards, also receiving a Master's of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Brandon Bo Rickardson. Dr. Jenna Lee Wilcox Ridlin. Dr. Matthew J. Robles. Dr. Caitlin Emily Rooney. Dr. Lauren Courtney Rubenstrunk. Dr. Marie Paula Ruiz, also receiving a Master's of Science in Anatomy degree. Dr. Elizabeth A. Runcie. Dr. Mark Rinda. Dr. Paige A. Sands. Dr. Eva Song Sandberg. Dr. Robin Andrew Scott. Dr. Kelly Diane Shifsky. Dr. Elizabeth Ann Schmick. Dr. Craig Anthony Skirring. Dr. James A. Seidel. Dr. Gina Lynn Shelley. Dr. Amy C. Sherman, hooded by Dr. Stanley Sherman. Dr. Janessa Susan Sickler. Dr. Nadia H. Siddiqui. Dr. Zachary Leonard Singer, hooded by Dr. Jonathan W. Singer. Dr. Matthew T. Skeens. Dr. Susan Lynn Slycord. Dr. Brody B. Smith, hooded by Dr. Brad Smith. Dr. Carolyn Elise Smoke, hooded by Dr. Nicholas Sandersfeld. Dr. Christopher Michael Snell. Dr. Janelle Stewart, also receiving a Master's of Public Health degree. Dr. Bradley J. Stokes. Dr. Karen Lisa Stokey. Dr. Andrew Taylor Strand. Dr. R. Mark Stuckey, Jr. Dr. Chang Wei Su. Dr. Natalia Alina Shaflarsky. Dr. Jenna Lee Tate. Dr. Ryan J. Taylor. Dr. Caitlin Marie Thompson. Dr. Nathaniel J. Thompson. Dr. Jill Threewitz. Dr. Amanda Catherine Torgeson. Dr. Matthew David Torgeson. Dr. Adam Ryan Toth. Dr. Nok Troon. Dr. Jana Marie von Rybrook, also receiving Masters of Science in Biomedical Sciences degree and hooded by Dr. John Van Rybrook. Dr. Nimisha U. Vyas, hooded by Dr. Uday Vyas. Dr. Joel Patrick Waddle. Dr. Lindsay Brooke McCauley Ward. Dr. Michael E. Warden. Dr. Thomas Samuel Waters. Dr. Jessica R. Webb. Dr. Lee Suzanne Wells. Dr. Tyler John Wendell. Dr. Todd A. Weichel. Dr. Luke D. Widstrom, hooded by Dr. Mark Widstrom. Dr. Brad M. Willenbring. Dr. Alicia M. Wilson. Dr. James J. Whittree. Dr. Thomas Allen Vulture, hooded by Dr. Angela Appleby. Dr. Jarrett R. Wortham, hooded by Dr. Rex Wortham. Dr. Mackenzie Thomas Worthington. Our final graduates in the class of 2013 for the College of Osteopathic Medicine are the Fellows in Osteopathic Manual Medicine. They have spent one additional year training current students in the art and science of osteopathic manual medicine. Dr. Rachel Nicole Blankenship. Dr. Hillary C. Haas. Dr. Nicole Ann Vagaman.
The osteopathic oath will be administered by Dr. George Clavenna, Professor of Ophthalmology. Will the graduates in osteopathic medicine please stand?
Good afternoon. At this point in time, I'd like to ask the osteopathic physicians in the audience and on the platform if they'd like to join us with the graduates in reciting the osteopathic oath in unison. I do hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I'm about to enter. I will be mindful always of my great responsibilities to preserve the health and life of my patients, to retain their respect both as a physician and as a friend, who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity, to perform faithfully my professional duties, to employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability, keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I will be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community, sustain its laws and institutions, not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drugs for deadly purposes to any person, no, it may be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation and never by word or act cast imputation upon them or their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who have taught me my art. To my college, I will be loyal and strive always for its best interest and for the interests of the students who will come after me. I will ever alert to further the application of basic biologic truths to the healing arts and to develop the practices of osteopathy, which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still.
You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President of the Alumni Association for Des Moines University, Dr. Robert Suter, a 1989 alumnus of the College of Osteopathic Medicine and the College of Health Sciences. Dr. Suter?
Graduates and new alumni of Des Moines University, welcome to your new role in the family. This ceremony is always impressive and special. Just as I had the privilege of walking across this stage in 1989, today you experience that singular feeling of pride and accomplishment that comes with earning a professional degree. You now hold the key to changing not only your life, but as healers and healthcare professionals, changing the world, one patient and one community at a time. Take a lesson from our commencement speaker and dream, plan, act, but most importantly, believe. As you go forward from this day to fulfill your highest individual hopes and dreams, please don't forget your common connection with your fellow alumni of this great institution and our responsibility to our alma mater to be ongoing partners in the continued success of Des Moines University. Again, congratulations.
At this point in our celebration, it is befitting for the graduates to pay tribute to those who have contributed greatly to their success. Will the graduates please rise? Through great dedication and commitment, your esteemed faculty have advanced your capacities as caring and compassionate healthcare providers, scientists, and administrators. And as you go forward, you too have a responsibility to wisely use what you have learned to preserve and enhance the quality of life for those individuals and communities you serve. I ask you to demonstrate your appreciation by applauding the faculty seated in the front rows. Graduates, to your parents, partners, loved ones, friends, and supporters, people who have cheered you throughout every step of this journey, I ask you to turn and face the audience. This is your opportunity to say thanks. On behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff at Des Moines University, we commend each of you on achieving this significant milestone. You may be seated. To the members of the class of 2013, this day is a special day of celebration, achievement, and challenge. We celebrate your successful completion of the requirements for the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, Doctor of Podiatric Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Science in Anatomy, Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, Master of Science in Physician Assistant Studies, Master of Public Health, and Master of Healthcare Administration. This is an important milestone, and we celebrate it with you. It is also a day when we acknowledge your achievement of a body of knowledge and a set of special skills with which you can now go forth to render special service to improve the health and healthcare of our state, our nation, and the world. It is a day of challenge, since now many of you must commit to those important next steps that will complete your preparation and training that will confer upon you the eligibility to use your skills as a fully qualified professional in your chosen area of endeavor. These are challenges that you have shown yourselves ready to assume and to master. We extend our congratulations to you and to your families and loved ones. We share in the pride they feel in your accomplishments, and we are as excited as they are about the service you will render and the difference you will make. What an exciting and rewarding future that lies ahead of you. Favorite quote of mine is, Know that you will make your living by what you get, but you will make a life by what you give. Go and serve. Commit to your part in fulfilling our noble mission in the delivery of medical care, in the advancement of knowledge, and in strengthening our system of health care. Reach far, dream colossal dreams, set audacious goals, be bold in leadership, and in the name of service to mankind, be possessed of an outrageous ambition to make things better. That is your legacy. The service that you give is partial payment on the investments made by others in you. To the graduates, I therefore charge you to relentlessly pursue knowledge, seek wisdom, give service, and demand excellence throughout your lifetime. I charge you to fulfill the promise of being health professionals committed first to service for our nation's rural and underserved citizens, with a dedication to prevention, wellness, and the delivery of compassionate, patient-centered care. I charge you to maintain respect for others and to cherish those who have been your greatest champions. Remember that professional integrity is essential to your success as a healthcare professional. So I charge you to also embrace the values of honesty, accountability, collaboration, and inclusiveness as the basic tenets of integrity. I charge you to be honorable and supportive alumni of Des Moines University. See this as an imperative to invest in the next generation of healthcare professionals. I charge you to lead, to inspire, and to serve, and be always assured of our enormous pride in you. Congratulations, dream big, and focus your life on doing a world of good. I now am pleased to ask the Grand Marshal to step to the podium for the final pronouncement of this ceremony.
These proceedings are now officially closed. Please remain seated until the recessional is completed. Families and friends are invited to greet the graduates in Hall B in the atrium outside the doorways where the graduates robed, or in this hallway. Will the platform party, faculty, and graduates please rise for the recessional?